Hi guys, today I'd like to talk to you about intervals. It's a bit of a huge topic, but it's something that we're going to build our knowledge on over the next 2 years. Intervals are super important. When I was at music college, we spent every morning, every day, about half an hour every day practicing intervals because they are so important. Not just for your exam, you'll be asked questions about them in your exam, but also in terms of composition with regards to how to build interesting chords, how to work out what the key you're in, or writing harmonies, things like that. Understanding intervals is the way musicians talk. It's the language we use when talking about harmony. So an interval essentially is the distance from one note to another. So it could be from a C to an E flat. That's an interval. From a G to a E flat, from an F sharp to a B flat, whatever it is, whatever distance you can describe any note from one note to another with using an interval. So we're going to start at the very beginning, and we're going to do it in the key of C, but this will work in whatever key. So if we're going to learn the first one, which is a minor second in the key of C is C to C sharp or D flat, depending how you think of it. And that's a minor second, but it also that would work in the key of in a different key, F to F sharp or G to G sharp. They're both minor seconds. So F to F sharp sounds like a minor second. G to G sharp sounds like a minor second. They all sound like Jaws, and that's because Jaws is a minor second. It's the closest interval possible. Those notes don't get on, and that's why it's so effective as the theme for Jaws, because the interval sounds like something's nearby because it's a small interval. It's the smallest interval. So C to C sharp is a minor second. A major second would be C to D. That's the distance of two semitones, C to D. I always think of Happy Birthday. So that tune starts with a major second, C to D, in the key of C. A C to E flat is the next note, and that is a minor third. So a minor third, I think of Greensleeves, and the minor third is a sad sounding interval. It's a minor interval. If you're playing a C minor chord, it's got a minor third in it, C to an E flat in it. And then C to E is a major third. Forgive me. Oh, When the Saints is what I think of. And so we've got the pattern so far. We've got minor second, C to C sharp or D flat. Major second, C to D. C to E flat would be a minor third. C to E would be a major third. Now the pattern changes for a bit here because of the physics of music. We've got C to F. It is not a minor fourth, it is what we call a perfect interval, a perfect fourth, and that's why I've coloured it in yellow there. So C to F is what we call a perfect fourth, and it's to do with maths, where those notes vibrate. The number of vibrations a second is mathematically related to each other, and so it's a perfect interval. So I think of Here Comes the Bride. That's a perfect fourth. Those notes are very consonant. It means they get on. That sounds very nice together. They get along. Yeah. The next note is a diminished interval. Okay, and that's why it's coloured blue. Okay, C to F sharp is a diminished fifth, or sometimes casually called a tritone. Sometimes it's called the devil's interval, and it's considered the most dissonant interval. If I play those two notes together, they don't get along at all. Okay, and I think of the start of The Simpsons, or you may know West Side Story from Maria. Maria from West Side Story, sorry. Maria, I've just met a girl named Maria. So that's C to F sharp. Then we've got another perfect interval, C to G. That's a perfect fifth. Guitarists will know this is a power chord if you play those two notes together. It is not major or minor. It's got no third in it, deciding whether it's major or minor. It's a perfect fifth. Okay. I think of Star Wars. A little mistake there. But yeah, C to G is a perfect fifth. So let's recap. We've got C to C sharp or D flat, that's a minor second. Then we've got C to D, that's a major second. C to E flat is a minor third. C to E is a major third. Then we've got our perfect fourth, our tritone or diminished fifth, and we've got a C to G, which is a perfect fifth. The pattern gets back on track here with C to G sharp or C to A flat. Should be A flat. Let's try and change that quickly. Let's do that there. And let's just change that to A flat. There you go. So A flat for you, C to A flat is a minor sixth. I think of The Entertainer, you know that piece on the piano everyone knows? That's a minor sixth interval. Okay, whereas the major sixth, C to A, is my Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie lies over the ocean. That's how I hear it when I sit like that. Okay, so we've got our minor sixth, C to A flat, and C to A, which is our major sixth. C to B flat is a minor seventh. I think of Can't Stop by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's a famous minor seventh interval. Whereas the major seventh, C to B, it's a very longing sounding interval, C to B, and I think of Take On Me by it's Aha. It's Take On Me, you know the one. And then we finish with another perfect interval, C to C, which is a perfect octave or 8VE octave, and that's another perfect interval. So let's just recap these. Minor second, major second, major second, minor third, major third, perfect fourth, tritone, diminished fifth, perfect fifth, and then minor sixth, and then we've got major sixth, minor seventh, major seventh, and then perfect octave. I think of, by the way, for a perfect octave, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. That starts with an octave leap as well. Okay, so why is this important, and why have I been banging on about it for so long? Well, if you were looking to make your chords sounding interesting, and there's 100 different reasons, but if you were looking to make your chord sound interesting, you may think, oh, I'll play a C chord. If I add I might say to you, yeah, we might give you feedback on your chord progression and say it's a little basic, we need to add some more interesting chords in there, like seventh chords or sixth chords, or a ninth chord, for example. These are all intervals that we're talking about here. So a seventh chord is like a C with a seventh, with the major seventh in it. That's a C major 7 chord. A C dominant 7 has the minor seventh in it. So it's, again, we make the C with the third, the 1, the 3, and the 5, and then we add in a seventh of some sort. It might be a minor C minor chord, and it might have the minor seventh. Yeah. So it will give you recipes. If you understand how to play intervals or how to hear intervals, you'll be given. We can give you the recipes for making interesting chords. A sus4 chord has a fourth in it rather than a third, and that's a very easy thing for me to explain to someone who understands intervals. Whereas if I have to say, oh, what key are you in? You're in G. Okay, so you need to do a sus chord. It's going to be a G or whatever. It takes too long. Understanding intervals is really, really important. Also, if you might want to do a harmony part, if you're writing a pop song, or if you're trying to harmonize a melody with a violin, Harmonies work really well in thirds and sixths, so understanding intervals is really key for that. If you're doing a metal song, if you're writing something heavy metal or a rock song, you want to understand about using the tritone, or a blues song will have a lot of diminished fifths in, a lot of tritones in it. If you're writing a fanfare or something for a brass band, go for your perfect fifths, perfect fourths. Understanding intervals is how musicians talk, and that's why we need to get good at understanding what they all mean and the distance between them. So we'll do a lot of that in lessons. I just wanted you to see it visually, and if you're unsure in lessons when we're talking about it, you've got a video that you can keep coming back to kind of brush up on your understanding of it. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, talk to me and we'll get through this together. So good luck with it. Cheers.